falafel. I got this from a local place. It's really good. I've always wanted to try to make it myself, so that's what we're gonna do. So it's been a bit longer than overnight. It's more like 24 hours. I'm gonna just drain it and then just store it for tomorrow. Get a strainer or a sieve. I don't really know the difference, to be honest. But whatever, it works. It got holes. You know, I think they're still pretty solid. I don't want to just pour this straight in. Jeez. Nope. Stop making a mess, man. Smells interesting. I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's been about a week and a half, so when I took these chickpeas out of the fridge, I could see they were starting to sprout a little bit, which is slightly disturbing. I recommend just not waiting so long. I'll be following a recipe, by the way, and I'll link that in the description. This is commonly known as a pan. Or a pot. I'll be using this to boil the chickpeas, because as they stand, they are quite hard. Boop. So you know the phrase, watch pot never boils? Theoretically, right, this'll never boil. I am just saying stupid shit. Hey, it's raining outside. I'm just gonna cover it up. Seriously, do you see this? Is this not disturbing to anyone else? I'm probably overreacting. They're kind of cute though. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, let's prepare the garlic and the onion. I got my super dangerous looking knife. This will help me a lot. I'm gonna start with the onion. I'm gonna cut off both ends. Yep, I just cut a little bit like that. And then I pretty much peel off the first layer. Oh. Definitely in shot, right? Gonna put this in my compost bin. Boop, boop, boop. Before I go any further, this onion, I'm just gonna go with the garlic for no real reason. How do I wanna do this? Gotta just brute strength it. I don't know how many cloves I'm gonna really use, but honestly, it just seems like more garlic is better. Unless you don't like garlic, in which case, like, you're not a real person. Oh my god, my eyes, they already hurt. Ow, why? Ow. You know, let's do 4. I don't know if that's a lot. Let's clean this stuff up. Boop. The method I learned to prepare, like, this garlic is just to crush it with a knife. Cool. And then it's easier just to, you know, take off, do you call this the skin of the garlic? Cool. So I always like to cut off the ends of this. For my own mental well-being, I'm just gonna cut them off. Is it slightly wasteful? Yeah. I mean, what isn't? I think instead of like chopping then, I'm just gonna use this thing. What do you call this? I don't know. Maybe future me will tell you. And then let's get to the onion. And then... Oh, my eyes are burning! I'm kind of glad it's not focused on my face right now, because there are literal tears coming out of my eyes. Oh my god. It's not the first time today, though. Oh god. Probably cut that out. Alright, I'll just leave it like that for now. We're back to the pot. As you can see, it's nice and boiled. And it said 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna set a timer. I'm sniffing because the onion really kicked my ass. Got my timer. Can see that? Is this important to show? No, it's not. But I did it anyway. Right, I wasn't recording, but I started to finally chop this. Not that you need to see everything. Do you remember Slap Chop? I'm wondering if that's actually like a good product. Does that still exist, by the way? I'm gonna say that's good. It was starting to boil over, so I just removed the lid. Oh, look at the fuck. Alright, as you can see, it's starting to boil over. Just gonna remove this. Okay, stop. Okay, yep. This is fine. This is fine. I might just like leave the lid off. Look at that steam. Man, my camera's so good. And I'm just gonna place that down. Perfect. How much do I got left on this timer? But let's assume that 5 minutes is over. Yeah. So once the 5 minutes elapses, you're just supposed to bring it down in temperature. And then I think while the temperature is so low, I'm gonna keep the lid on just to maintain the heat. And it shouldn't be boiling over. So it's 5 minutes boiling and then an hour of simmering. Still boiling over, so I'm gonna just do a little, what is it called? Shadow, tell me what the word is. A shadow, tell me that I'm good now. Like, oh, I'm gonna compromise and just have it part way off. So I figured while I wait, I will just mix the ingredients in this bowl. This recipe, it calls for 2 cloves of garlic, but like, come on. You gotta have more, right? So I'm gonna start with adding the onions. This is definitely not the best way to do it because of this little divot. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna need a bigger bowl. We're just gonna overkill and then use this large of a bowl. Better to have more space than not enough. Adding the onions to that. Alright, this onion calls for chopping the garlic, but I think I'll just grate, because it's great. I'm gonna grate half of them and then chop the rest. Is as much garlic I'm adding it too much? No, obviously. There's never enough garlic. Come on. Just gonna grate this garlic and then this one, and I'm gonna chop the other 2 cloves. And not trying to waste any garlic, my precious garlic. I'm gonna wash this now because when it dries up, it's just more difficult to wash. So let's get the chop and the other garlic. I really should just use a smaller cutting board because it would be easier to get into the bowl, but too late, I already started. So I'm gonna just gather these on the big knife and that'll be easier to transport over to the bowl. Is this the best way to do things? No. Obviously not. I am balance master. At the bowl and then just... I should have probably chopped the garlic finer, but you know what? Just whatever. Alright, see you in about 40 minutes, guys. See ya. Okay, we're back. It's almost time. Is it weird that I feel bad for the chickpeas? Because they were very much alive, and now they're very much dead. It's gonna stir a little bit. Let me see if they're soft now. Alright, so I can crush it a little bit. Man, chickpeas are good. The sprout does not taste as good. It was actually fine just to leave the lid on. It was just because the stovetop was still cooling down. Yeah, it's been another 15 minutes. Let's do a little test again. That's gonna be enough. Alright. A cup of chickpeas is actually kind of a lot. It kind of looks good, doesn't it? I mean, other than like all the sprouts. Back the mixing bowl, I'm just gonna add the chickpeas. Easy. It says a teaspoon of cumin. I'm not gonna measure this out. I'm just gonna do it by feel. Is that probably a bad idea? Possibly. Is this too much? Man, that smells good. So I'm gonna add the ingredients that I have that are included in the recipe, and then the ones I don't have, I'm gonna substitute for other ones. Then we got some salt. It says 1 teaspoon salt. Whatever. Let's add some pepper. Where's my pepper at? It also calls for flour, 2 tablespoons. The flour is like a binding agent, which is supposed to like keep everything together, basically. The recipe says that you can replace it with egg. So those are the ingredients that I actually had of the ingredients list. The things I don't have is coriander and fresh parsley. Now I'm just gonna add things that I want. Alright, so I like paprika. Get some of that. And also, like, I realize, you know, adding more and more seasonings doesn't necessarily mean the taste will be better. But I am trying to make it work. Ooh, some thyme. Why not? Because I want some greenery in here. Thyme might not even taste that good, but it's gonna be in here. Got some rosemary. And really, like, you can add whatever you want. It's really based on your personal preference. Some dill. Look at that. Looks kind of weird. So now it just says to mash it together. Recipe suggests a food processor, like you can use that. I don't have that personally. I'm just gonna use this and see how it works. This is not the best method. Just 1 second. There's gotta be something better than this. I kind of wish I had a food processor right now. At this point, I think I'm just gonna use my hands. Alright, so I'm gonna say that's good enough. The size is completely up to you. It's like making little snowballs. And this should actually produce a lot. And there you go. I would assume it's probably enough for about 4 or 5 falafel wraps. Now I'm gonna work on making tzatziki. I should have done this at an earlier time, but I kind of forgot about it. This is a different recipe because the falafel is just like the balls and stuff. The recipe I'm using says to use 350 grams of Greek yogurt. Great. Yeah, maybe use a bigger bowl. Actually, this should be okay. So the ingredients for tzatziki: Greek style yogurt, 1 cucumber, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 garlic cloves, and a dash of extra virgin olive oil. Also some paprika. You can add other stuff too. I'm assuming like salt, and like salt wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm not gonna be using the whole cucumber, and it recommends to peel it. I don't know, it's half a lot. Let's do a quarter. Cut off the end. Obviously, we can't keep this like that as it is. Sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. You know, I could just like chop this into thin strips. I think that's good enough. Accompanying this will be 2 cloves of garlic. You know, I actually had 2 extra cloves in the other thing, but you know what? It's too late. I should probably use a smaller knife for this, but I'm gonna remove the dark spot. Don't cut towards your fingers. Now I can add cucumber, 2 finely grated garlic cloves, and the second clove. I don't know how much 2 tablespoons is, but I'm just gonna guesstimate. I want like, okay, maybe a little more. Just gonna squeeze that in. Splash of olive oil, maybe a little more. And then lastly, some paprika. Yeah, that's fine. This doesn't need to be here anymore. And then just mix it up. Let's compare this to the store-bought tzatziki. Like, it doesn't look good, but it's all about the taste, right? And then that's what I made. Does not look good. Let me taste this. All right, taste-wise, this is way better. I'm gonna take a look at the ingredients and see if I can add anything to my own to make it taste better. All right, I'm gonna add some salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of vinegar, a bit more lemon. Let's mix. It's better, but I still feel like it's missing something. You know, I think dill would actually taste good in this. And a bit more olive oil. Do a taste test again. It's definitely a weird combination. I'll add some more paprika. You know what? I'm happy with that. So we're almost there. This is the home stretch, guys. I'm gonna start preparing the ingredients that are going inside of the wrap. I already rinsed off this head of salad. That much. I believe these are called cherry tomatoes. Never hurts to have a little bit more lettuce. So I'm about to start frying up the falafel balls. I'll be using, what is this, canola oil? Well, that was all the canola oil I had. You're gonna want more than that. I think this oil is butt heated up. But another test you can do is wedge your hand a little bit, and then, it's not hot enough. While I'm waiting for the oil to heat up, I'm gonna put the tortilla or whatever into the oven to warm it up a bit. Let's do like 150 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna be careful with that because if it's in there too long, it'll be too crunchy and then I can't roll it. I can't fold it over. So I'm gonna say it's ready. I got my tongs. It could probably be hotter. Don't burn me. Like, this will be my test, and then I can compare it to other ones. It is coming apart a little bit. I actually prefer these. I'm gonna try this one. Yeah, this definitely did not stay together that well. It just needs a bit more salt. Otherwise, it's really good. Yeah. That's how you know it's hot enough. I can add some more. Oh, I kind of forgot about the wrap. Yeah, the other tortilla was a bit too crispy. So these actually look more like how they're supposed to look like. This could probably be a little more toasted, but I mean, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna start with the lettuce layer. So you can see some of these started to come apart just a little bit. Yeah, this is not gonna be perfect. It might be really thick. Okay, something I forgot was feta cheese. Okay, I'm gonna put sriracha in half. Oh man, closing this is gonna be a real problem. I know it looks like it's way too much, but let's try, okay? Oh no. Let me just state the obvious here. This is way too thick. Next time, I'm gonna put less ingredients at once. But what really matters is the taste, right? I'm gonna cut this open to see how the layers look. They don't look special or anything, but what really matters is the taste. This is the falafel to scale to my face. It's freaking huge. Is it better than the one I got from the place I got the other one? I mean, it's comparable. I really recommend it. It's been about 3 hours. Like in the recipe I used, it says 2 hours. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I will say though, not enough salt and too much garlic. Yeah, there is such a thing, too much garlic. I got a bit too eager, but luckily, with the power of editing, works. All right, here's my second attempt. There's my hand for scale. Does that make sense? Just ignore how it completely busted through here. Here I am with the last of my ingredients. What I forgot to mention is traditionally these are served with pita bread. I do not have pita bread. Oh, and I didn't toast the tortilla just because it's just too much effort. Okay. I mean, I could still work a little bit on my rolling technique. The ends aren't super closed. Let's see if this looks satisfactory. You can't really tell, can you? Yeah, that doesn't really look good. But whatever. It's really hard to communicate like something tasting well over video, but just take my word for it. This tastes awesome, and you should try it. I mean, it takes a bit of work, but it's worth it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for reading this far. I know the video, it's a bit long, but thank you for keeping up with me. And cue outro.